Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our campaign in Factorio. Need to make some more flare stacks. For some reason they are not being auto-crafted, even though Handy Hands is supposed to make them. It's just like, I don't want to. Not gonna do it. You can't make me, it says. So, we're gonna just say each one of these guys gets its own flare stack, I think. Why don't we... Yeah, the one that I care about is the actual hydrogen, so we're going to do it the opposite order then. The flare stacks are just going to go... here and here. Then we'll run the hydrogen on the interior up to there, and then the oxygen can go to there and there. We'll grab some pipe, because we need to flare it. And then this stuff is going to head up to a barreling area. So we're going to barrel hydrogen gas. And we're going to put our bypasses in and see how these guys perform. Now, do we want to use activity here? I think yes. Gonna cause a major meltdown, I think. Raw speed here to make sure these guys stay running. And then this beacon. I think we can afford to move him over by a little bit. Still cover all those machines. Now, we are definitely already running into an issue now where there's too much hydrogen, and then the purified water that was supposed to be being clarified is now not clarified and probably shutting down some other system somewhere. So that's fun. I'm just kind of hesitant to trying to put in like a bypass, like a, you know, like an overflow valve or something. I've had bad experiences with them lately. In that they just straight up haven't worked. Okay, well this should be creating a fair number of hydrogen gas barrels. I want like lots of hydrogen gas. Like a lot. So... you guys don't mind just continuing to make lots and lots of hydrogen gas, that'd be great. So, hydrogen gas barrels. I'm gonna bring those fellas up to somewhere up here. Okay, so you're going to get as much hydrogen in as you possibly could use, and then it's just going to make as much of this crap as possible. Which we are actually being blocked now at the speed of that inserter. Wow. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and say something like this, and we will get these guys working. Even faster. So that's a lot of ammonia synthesis, which is still probably not even enough. You are actually, it appears to me, continuing to be held up now by nitrogen production. Which is being held up by not enough compressed air, it looks like. Enough of the input. Which is rather shocking, considering this guy's doing. Looks like maybe we are crafting too fast. What is the crafting speed of this recipe anyway? 6 seconds. 10 compressed air in 6 seconds. I had it set up like this, so you have a crafting speed of 24. Doesn't matter what the actual number of output products is, it's just going to be one output per, one craft per 6 seconds with a crafting speed of 24.4. It was 4 crafts per second. That's only one every 15 updates. Like, it shouldn't be blocked by updates per second. So would you rather have 160% speed, or would you rather have some productivity? I don't really want to do the math. Well, logically, 18 crafting speed with 80% bonus is like 32-ish, 30-ish, somewhere around, equivalenty. Yeah, now it looks like there's too much of that stuff. Too much nitrogen. Too much ammonia gas now. Good. Good problem to have. Now we have too much methylamine. Good. Okay, that's a great problem. So methylamine gas is capped out. Excellent. So why aren't you working now? Dimethylamine is capped. That's running over to this guy, who is running low on the monochloramine. Which comes from our... well, up here. Okay, I think the saltwater electrolysis is not just the hydrogen production, it's also going to be this hydrogen chloride gas. That is... yes. So, okay, alright. Well, we got there eventually. Saline water electrolysis it is. We gotta make lots and lots and lots of hydrogen chloride, evidently. Alright, let's figure it out. So, something about saline. Saline? We take a salination plant. Okay. Start fresh. Salination plant. We're going to take some water. We're going to use that to make saline water. Productivity. Regular water comes in. And or we could search for like salt. We have none salt in the entire system. Okay. Do we have any of the other thing that looks similar to it? Interesting how when you open up this thing, it puts slow up there. I searched for saline. I did not search for salt. So let's search for salt. No, I did search for salt. Did I search for saline? I could swear that there's one byproduct or another that I've been making for a long time. Like white looking. Similar to these guys. It's not gun cotton. It wasn't the oxide. It wasn't the calcium chloride. I don't remember what it was, but there's some junk that's coming out of one of the machines somewhere. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna do the regular water. And then once we have our saline water, we're gonna do saline electrolysis. From the saline water. Chlorine, hydrogen, sodium hydroxide. Maybe that's the byproduct I've been thinking of. I just hope we don't end up in a position where we have to, like, store endless amounts of this sodium hydroxide just because I want chlorine. There's got to be another way to make chlorine, right? It doesn't produce a byproduct that I can't void. Whatever. Alright, so you're going to make that stuff, and this stuff we pretty much do, I think, just want to turn directly into the... assuming the ratio is the same, I do want to turn this directly into the... hydrogen chloride. So hydrogen chloride gas, 10 hydrogen chloride from 5 and 5. You're producing equally? Of course not, that would be too simple. Okay, but the byproduct, the one we have more of with 50% extra hydrogen, that's actually fine. So what if we do this then? We'll say I want to duplicate this once, twice, that way, that many times. Can't squeak through, that sucks. We're getting 50% more of that one. So, we need 3, and then one of the hydrogens can go off to be stored. So we get rid of you and you. We're going to take the byproducts of these over here. That hydrogen's going to go north. Or rather, maybe even over into connect. Let's do it this way. This hydrogen here on the bottom is going to come over to here. This will work out spectacularly. I can just feel it in my bones. It's going to be great. Totally great. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And these other ones, we're going to have go off this way. I think I do need to keep a little bit of space here. Just in case. And this disparity of raw productivity is going to be kind of annoying, but... Alright, well that should continue to kind of work in theory, I guess. Put a beacon down. Raw productivity, I do think, is still going to be pretty good. You're going to take in the hydrogen in that one, and you're going to make this guy into hydrogen chloride. And the hydrogen chloride, we're going to immediately barrel up, I think, because it is the thing that's stopping us from doing stuff. Somewhere. Okay, the only thing we need to do now is hook up some real, actual water. Need ceramic pipe to ground. I think I was using the ceramic pipe because I was concerned that the water supply was not good enough. And trying to latch into it this way is probably not going to work out for me, I think, but let's see what happens if we do it anyway. Ooh, look at the distance on those. Nice. That is rather nice. Alright, so you are trying to make it, and you are not getting enough... What? Now, no output for the random bits, random bobs that come out. Okay, and then the... Did I do it backwards? I've got 2 hydrogens hooked up, 3 chlorines hooked up. How is it that the chlorine's completely gone and we've got nothing but hydrogen? One chlorine, 2 chlorine, 3 chlorine, 4, 6, 4, 6. Is productivity throwing it off somehow? I don't really quite understand why that would be the case, but I guess maybe. Let me try. Let's see if we have all of these machines have the same amount of productivity overall. They've got 240% productivity. We're making 4 chlorine times 3.4. It's 13.6 times 3 machines. It's 40.8 chlorine per craft or whatever. And then 6 hydrogen times 3.4 times 2 is 40.8. They should be balanced. Don't really quite understand it. Could it be that this pipe being blocked stopped this one from running? Or something long enough that it threw them out of sync? That could be the problem, because he can't run and provide the chlorine necessary for the rest of it if the output side's blocked. Just flare it, or I guess we store as much hydrogen as we can. I mean, whatever. It's infinite hydrogen. Go. Run, machines, run. Honestly, if I end up with too much storage, I don't really care right now. Like, I just want to just run, make stuff, go. We'll figure it out later if there are problems. Is there a higher tier to the salination plant? I'm gonna guess not. Alright, well, we did launch another rocket fairly recently. At one point, I think I'd set the research for... Yeah, orbital ion cannon did complete, so we could theoretically start crafting some orbital ion cannons and get them going. We need auto-targeting is a thing. Auto-targeting stations periodically scan for spawners, and if any are found, they will automatically designate them as targets for your ion cannons in orbit. I'm going to hold off on researching that yet, because I would prefer to at least get one up in the air before we try it. But for now, let's like go, I don't know, something that's not a crazy stupid amount of stuff. Like worker robot speed, 1600, seems reasonable. Totally reasonable. Let's see if we can start making some orbital ion cannons. I don't want to make a huge amount because they're like ridiculously expensive, but some would be good. Up here, we now have this thing running again. However, this whole crafting system can kind of be replaced by this, because this will just make stuff. It's not sent down here to be smashed, but I could easily set it up so this just requests iron ore instead. Which honestly seems pretty reasonable, I think. We'll set up like 2 of these guys. Pull you for now. We'll put 2 unloaders, and you will just request iron ore. Yeah, this whole thing was an interesting little experiment, but if we're going to use the other guy, then that just seems fine too. So whatever, just all this go away. I don't want this anymore. Set it against it. However, that was the only area that was actually crushing the Javolite. So next, I would probably should set something up where we are going to crush like stuff based on low supply, right? We should do the same thing as this. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna take the time to set this up right now. I want is this, why is that there anyway? We need a most advanced crusher we have. The crusher 3. There goes the 7th rocket. It's got 12 sides to it. We need some space so that it can actually have its combinator. So we'll put him like... You can go there. I know that it doesn't quite line up perfectly, but that'll actually be fine. You're gonna be here. I need another one of these guys. I believe that's angled the right way. Copy these. You are going to do... 1, 2, 3, and then we could... Oh, this is... I like this. Ooh, I've got an idea. Alright, so we want the raw uncrushed bits. 1, 2. Okay, so request those guys in. These guys are going to go underground belt to here, here, and here. Ah, damn. You know what? It's okay. You know what? For symmetry, we're gonna do it over here anyway. I don't care. Okay, so that one's gonna set the recipe. And then once it's been set, the output will be, I guess in this case, it's gonna not quite be symmetrical. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not going to worry, I think, about wiring these guys up. That thing just launched the 8th rocket. Is there a way to change this thing from... I assume if you want to change it from rockets per hour, you got to just launch rockets faster, right? That would be the way to do it. It's probably tracking it in rockets per hour because it's just how slow I'm going. All right, in this case, we're gonna... You know what? I'm just gonna do it manually. I trust myself to set it up properly if I try to copy paste that one. So we're gonna go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want a thing here. I want to put some of these into the machine. We're gonna run red wire down one side. Red wire on the output side. I want to use red wire to that to find out what's in there. In this machine, we're going to check to see how the supply of crushed material number 1 is doing. So, crushed sapphirite. Go down the list. Crushed. That one. Okay. If crushed is less than, say, 2,000. I probably should have copy-pasted some of the stuff that was going to be the same on every machine, but I didn't. Okay, so if your criteria is not met, you are going to output your resultant crafting combinator recipe for the type of crushing you're supposed to do, which in this case I think is going to be recipe crushed sapphirite. It's not going to be the crushed sapphirite by hand. It doesn't really differentiate here. I'll have to test it. Let's do this. I want to put a combinator that we're not going to actually use. I'm going to put a recipe combinator down. And hook this up to that temporarily. You can output that. So the output signal is currently 2. And if I use the other recipe, so first one, still 2. There's a second one, recipe crushed sapphirite. I don't know why there's 2 of them in there. Probably, I think it's because of the crushed sapphirite by hand. I'm going to go with the second one. Alright, so you're all trying, you're all saying, hey, there's not enough in there, which is good. The requester warehouse is currently requesting a little bit of each. Only 2 of the machines are currently unloading, and he is the one that needs to get the recipe now from here. Not going to reach if I go that way. And I think we can reuse the red signal here. I don't think there's a problem with that. What, it can't actually reach? Damn. That's just silly. Okay. That's gonna get us about a little bit of that, of each of them. We should see it switch recipes to the Javolite in a moment, because it's just gonna go down the list, right, in order. Input signal right now, it's receiving all of them, and it's just gonna output the same one until the Javolite is at 2,000. Sorry, the Sapphirite. Once the Sapphirite gets to 2,000, you should see the recipe switch. Oh, no, I didn't actually reconnect this to the warehouse. Now it should switch. Okay, so there seems to be a problem with the Javolite one. Javolite is less than 2K. Crafting combinator recipes. Recipe crushed Javolite. That should work. You know what, the only thing that I did different between these two is that in this case I wired that up to one side and I wired this up to the other side and I did not connect them together. So let's just put down another electrical pole. I'm going to undo that one. Undo that one. I just want you to hook up from this side. Oh, of course you would. And that is the issue, yeah. I don't really quite understand exactly why, but alright. So, again, it's just gonna it doesn't have an SR latch, right? It doesn't have any kind of hysteresis to it. It's just gonna stupidly try, but because of the fact that it's just gonna end up in the active provider, the hidden one, I don't really care. Actually, it can just run as poorly as it wants. It's fine. The only thing that we will need then is some sort of thing that's going to take care of the crushed stone, right? Because this is going to maintain the values for these ones, but there's nothing on the crushed stone. The crushed stone doesn't go anywhere. Which before I had a thing set up to smash it or whatever, but yeah, I don't like all this stuff anyway. It was ugly. It was ugly. It needs to be so much prettier or something. That electrical pole couldn't possibly have been important because everything is still fine. Now, next, the Javolite signal has turned off and it's trying to make Sapphirite, but Sapphirite is not part of the network. I guess being that these are not providers, they kind of, I think, could afford to be now. I don't think it's going to cause major problems. Originally, I had wanted to not do that because I wanted them to, well, not do that. That was the main reason. do something like that for now. Let's turn trash back on again. This thing we should see, I think, all of them end up in here. It's not particularly fast, but it's good enough to keep everything going. And then I guess I'll just put for now a, I don't know, just something to pull all this crushed stone out for the moment. We'll probably end up liquefying it or something. And the whole reason I took that thing down was basically because I wanted to start making the ion cannon shell thing, whatever it's called. And orbital ion cannon. And I needed room to make some more like accumulators. We need fast accumulator Mark 3s. We need to make radar Mark 1s and the laser turret Mark 5s. So let's try just launch the 12th rocket. Let's do the 4-tier upgrade. With an extra one. And hopefully we can just go right along the bottom here and go laser turret. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm assuming that the previous tier of laser turret is used in each. It is. Good. Okay, so... okay, we're doing a beacon coverage. Okay. So you get the stuff in that you need. He grabs from there. That's the feed into the next tier. We do end up with like 50 of the tier 5s, assuming that we have everything that we need. Titanium plate appears to be lacking. Yes, there's not enough titanium plate to make the tier 4 turrets. That's the only thing holding up the production of the tier 5 turrets. So that's actually a lot easier than I expected. It's the titanium plate, which was one of these guys around here. I was probably trying to do it, but then like quit or stopped because it was different somehow. Isn't it this one? That's tungsten plate. Ah, yeah, okay. Titanium. Titanium plate. Rutile, carbon, calcium chloride made in an electrolyzer. Fancy pants one. Isn't that one of these things up here? We're making zinc plate, but not the other one. In theory, it would go there. Alright, you don't actually need any liquid though, so this, never mind. I don't want any of this. I changed my mind. I'm just gonna go find some space somewhere, and we're gonna just throw down another machine. You're gonna make titanium, except not with that machine. You're gonna make it with an electrolyzer. Okay, looks like we may actually be out of rutile. That is the problem. Rutile had been, I think, only being crafted from this process right here, where we're getting rutile, the mineral sludge. All the more reason to start smashing the bits up. We have too much wastewater. Sulfuric wastewater. Let me guess that thing's totally full. Well, that just means we need to liquefy more crap. Sulfuric waste. Sulfuric becomes sulfuric waste stuff, right? Got tons of this stone everywhere. Alright, this episode's getting a little bit long. I'm gonna do one more thing and then I'm gonna wrap it up. We're gonna put down I think it's not very complicated. I'm pretty sure I might even be able to fit it within range of this beacon. Even though it's gonna be kind of messy. Whatever. I don't care. I want to make Sulfuric acid. Port in some oxygen and sulfur. Make the sulfuric acid. That's sulfur dioxide gas. I don't want that. I want sulfuric acid. Damn it. How do you make sulfuric acid again? Sulfur dioxide gas. Is it just that it's a two-step process? Is that the problem? Oxygen plus sulfur equals sulfur dioxide. Synthesis, sulfur dioxide from calcium sulfate. Ah, okay. Is that where we get rid of our calcium sulfate? That's interesting. That's even more sulfuric acid. I guess we do have to make the sulfuric acid out of the sulfur dioxide gas. Well, I mean, I do want, like, just more of it, so why don't we just unrestrict the production of sulfuric acid or barrel it up? Are we not already barreling it up? We are, but we're not storing it. Okay, well, just store it endlessly. Don't stop believing. Make more sulfuric acid. Good. Keep going. I need more. Like, lots more. Need more acid, please. Slag slurry is here. That will allow this to start getting processed. It's pretty much all just coming from slag. Just system storage. We have 800,000 crushed stone. Alright, we're gonna do this. The very last thing, I swear. You're gonna take crushed stone. I don't really care which one does which. Alright, so we now have some sort of a system to deal with some of that stuff. The steel production, by the way, has been possibly holding things up. Like, it's not because there's not enough steel production, it's just because I never upgraded the belt. Being blocked by a yellow belt somewhere. Oops. Okay. And now steel production is probably being slowed down by the actual... Ah, no, it's just the speed of these guys and belt disparity still. Yeah, that is a good solid tier 5 belt line. Okay, only thing that was stopping this was again that sulfuric wastewater, which I think that problem will go away on its own, just based on the fact that this is now running nonstop. Or rather, not stopped from running. That's not holding it up. It's just we need maybe even just more speed. We'll see. Okay, well, I really do have to take a break here, unfortunately. but we'll see what happens. We've been launching rockets. We're making some progress. We're at 13 rockets now. There might be some lasers. Still no titanium. Still no rutile. Okay, we'll solve that problem again then soon. But I'll be back in the next one. So as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in a bit.